Okay, in this video we are going to find the equation of a hyperbola from its asymptotes and one vertex. So let's take a look at the problem that we're going to solve. We're going to find the equation hyperbola with vertex -1, 14 and asymptotes y minus 4 equals plus or minus 5 over 12 quantity x plus 1. So these asymptotes are written in point slope form. If they weren't written in point slope form, what I would do is I would actually solve the system of equations that is the asymptotes. Because the asymptotes are going to intersect at the center of the hyperbola. So I need to know the center to be able to do the problem. In our case, we can see that the center is -1, 4 because it's x minus h, y minus k, and h is -1 and k is 4. So we know the center, but if we didn't know that or they were presented differently, I would just solve that system, right? Find the intersection. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is plot stuff, because by plotting it, I will have a better idea what's going on. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to plot the center, which is just -1, 4. Now the key thing here is I need to figure out if the center and the vertex are on the same horizontal line or on the same vertical line, because that'll tell me if I have a vertical or horizontal hyperbola. So I'm going to plot -1, 14, which is just above this, right? So -1, 14. I'm not going to bother with the x and y axes because they don't really matter in this context, but you could put them in if you want. So from this, I can see that the distance between them is 10, and that is a, because the distance from the center to a vertex is a while we're doing these things, which means a is vertical, so b must be horizontal. So I don't actually know what b is, but I do know that it's horizontal. I also know now that I can kind of roughly sketch in the asymptote box. I'm just going to do the corners of the box. So the vertices and co-vertices are the midpoints of this box, of the sides of the box. So those 4 points would be the corners, and then I would have an asymptote running through here. I'd also have the other diagonal, but it's just going to mess up my picture. Looking at this asymptote, we can see that we go over b and up a. So we know the slope. The slope of this is a over b. Now that's important because the value that we have from the asymptotes is either a over b, the slope of it, the slope of the asymptotes, I should say, is either a over b or b over a. We just needed to figure out which. We now know that it's a over b, but this is a key point. It's the reduced ratio of a over b. It's not necessarily a over b. Looking at that, we don't know that a is 5 and b is 12. In fact, we know that a is 10, so this isn't going to have like a super complicated thing. But this 5/12 is actually the ratio of a to b. So a over b is 5 over 12. We know a is 10. So we actually know that 10 over b is 5 over 12. I didn't know how much of this to show, so I'm just going to keep showing the math here. Cross multiply. I know some people don't like the term or the expression cross multiply, but I don't have a problem with it. And then divide by 5. So b is actually 24 in this case. So a is actually 10 and b is actually 24. We're almost done with the problem. We just need to make sure that we write the equation correctly. I mean, obviously. So I know because the vertices are on a vertical line that this opens vertically. So what I'm going to do is just sketch in. Doesn't need to be great. I'm putting almost no effort in making that look great or accurate. I just want an idea, right? So since we are opening vertically, we are eating a vertical line. Y is going to go first. We're like eating the y-axis is what I usually say. So y goes first. It's going to be y minus 4 because it's y minus k and k is 4. So the quantity y minus 4 squared over a always goes first here. So it's going to be a squared. So a is a 10, so we'll have 100. And then minus x minus -1 or x plus 1 squared over b squared. B squared is 576, and then the equation will equal 1. And there you go. So given the asymptotes and a vertex, you have enough information. Given the asymptotes and a focus, you have enough information. It's the same basic problem. There are a couple things to watch out for here. First one is do not be fooled by the reduced ratios, right? We have a over b. We have the ratio of a to b. We don't actually know what a and b are until we dig in. And then the other thing is you definitely want to use the vertex and center positions to decide if you're horizontal, which would mean x comes first in the equation, or vertical, which means y comes first in the equation. In this case, we knew that it was vertical, so y would have to come first. That's the entire problem. I hope this was helpful, and good luck.